When society talks about manifestation, what do they usually sell us? They sell us a comfortable lie, okay? They sell us the idea that if you just close your eyes, light a freaking candle, write the phrase 50 times in a row in a journal every day, and wish hard enough that the universe is going to magically package up your dream life and drop it on your front porch with a bow on top, okay? And we've turned the concept of chasing our dreams into a passive spectator sport, if you will. So we've been sold a version of manifestation that demands absolutely zero risk, zero discomfort, and zero work. And it sounds like a lazy shortcut, right? Or magic. And if I'm going to keep it real with you here, which I always do, there was a time in my life where I looked at all of it and thought it was a like really complete nonsense, okay? And I also thought it was linked to negative things. Like I thought it was woo woo a little bit. I thought it was not a good thing. Okay. Growing up as a Christian, magic is not something that we are supposed to like. So in my head, one, I didn't believe that it was real. Two, I didn't think if it was real that it was something that was allowed, right? So here's the truth that nobody wants to put on a motivational poster. Wishing does not change your life. Only action does. So, what most people are calling manifestation isn't a cosmic vending machine, okay? Real manifestation, the kind that actually moves the needle, the kind that can change your life and your career and your bank account and your relationships and even your mental health. This is not as glamorous as everyone makes it. It is simply cognitive reframing paired with relentless execution. It's not mystical, okay, babes? It's psychological. And it requires three very specific and very unglamorous things that we're going to talk about here in just a second. Okay. One, let's talk about the first one. You have to break down mental strongholds that have been holding you back and limiting beliefs that have been holding you back for your entire life. You have to literally dismantle the old programming that tells you who do you think you are to want this or to go after this. Okay. Simple, short. Let's go to number two. You have to shift your identity to match the version of you who is actually able to hold that success. Okay. You cannot receive a brand new shiny reality while operating from your old identity. It just can't happen. You have got to step into the shoes of the person who is achieving the goal before there is a single shred of evidence in the room that you have actually made it. Okay. So you have to actually shift your identity. Three, and this is the absolute only part and most important part that matters most, you have to take relentless inspired action. And no, I'm not talking about tomorrow or when the energy feels aligned or when, the timing is perfect. No, you have to do it now. Okay. There is a massive canyon between the life you currently live and the vision or dream that you hold in your head. And I call that the execution gap. Okay. One side of the gap, you have your desires, your potential, your vision boards, your late night ideas, your journal sessions, and on the other side, you have the reality of possessing those things. And sitting right in the middle of that gap isn't magic. It's discomfort. You cannot cross that gap by sitting on the edge and wishing for the bridge to just magically appear for you. You just can't, okay? You cross it by stepping into the fire of becoming the person who builds it for themselves. And that's just that's what manifestation is, okay? Let me give you a visual right quick. Right now, I could pull out my phone, unlock it, and record a 5-minute voice note. In my mind, I could picture it re- becoming a in my mind, I could picture it becoming a massive, life changing podcast episode. I could picture millions of people listening to it, it being the one thing that gives me my break in this world. And I could journal about it and I could pray about it and I could visualize the success of it until I am blue in the freaking face. But if I don't touch that recording ever again, guess what happens? 10 years from now, that audio will be sitting in the dark, hidden inside of a digital folder on my freaking phone, if given that I even have the same phone. And it'll also be an unfulfilled promise and a wasted spark of my inspiration. The idea itself is not the magic. The voice note is not the magic. You simply are the magic, okay? The magic only happens when I decide to bridge the gap. It happens when I embody the version of myself who is brave enough to edit that file, then write the title and set up the distribution and hit publish and market the show, okay? And face like the quiet internet of critics or whatever it is and do it over and over and over again. Okay. You see, the universe doesn't respond to what it is that you want. The universe responds to who you are willing to become and what you are willing to do. How many of you are sitting on an idea that is hiding in your phone? How many of you have a book that you haven't yet written, a business that you haven't launched, a video you haven't posted, or a boundary even that you haven't set because you're waiting for the right time? We convince ourselves we are waiting for a sign. We tell ourselves we're waiting for the right time or even waiting for the energy to align. But can I tell you a secret here? Waiting to feel ready is just fear wearing a clever freaking disguise, babe. Okay. Preparation doesn't happen on the sidelines. Okay. Readiness is forged in the middle of the arena. You don't get confidence first and then take the step. You take the step, and the confidence meets you on the other side of the obedience to your dream. And every single day, with every thought you entertain, every excuse you accept, and every action that you take or refuse to take, you are manifesting your reality. And so you are either actively constructing the life that you want, or you are passively consenting to the life you feel stuck in. One of the two. Okay, it is time to stop playing small. It is time to stop hiding behind the excuse that you're just wishing and hoping for things to get better. Shatter those old belief systems that told you that you aren't smart enough or experienced enough or worthy enough to occupy the space of your dreams. Stop treating your highest potential like a wish list and start treating it like an execution strategy, because that's what it is. The spark of inspiration you felt when you first had that idea, that wasn't a random thought, that was a calling. But the calling will stay trapped in your mind as long as the what if, as a what if, will stay trapped in your mind as a what if until you have the courage to give it hands and feet to start learning to walk and grabbing things and talking. Okay, stop staring across the canyon. Okay, step up, step out, and embody the person who builds the bridge. Close that gap, the execution gap. It needs to be closed or bridged. Okay, and the world is not waiting for your wishes, it is waiting for your work. And so, with that being said, manifestation is action. I hope this helps somebody.